Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Sauce. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. During a recent concert, R&B icon Monica had to stop her show and break up a fight that broke out during her performance. When two women in the audience started scrapping while she was singing, Monica signaled for the DJ to cut the music, looked at the women and said, quote, "Wait a minute, hold up, stop. Come on now, I'm singing a love song. I ain't singing nothing to you, buck baby. Calm that ish down," end quote. Now, after her initial comments failed to fully de-escalate the situation, Monica continued on to say, quote, "Somebody take her and get her a drink on me. Somebody take her and get her a drink on me. Calm down," end quote. After that, tension seemed to ease a little bit, and then somebody in the audience yelled out, "That fight is messing up my mood," and Monica responded, quote, "Me too, join the club," end quote. And then, when the dust settled, Monica proceeded to tell her security to remove the two young ladies from the venue, and then she dedicated her next song, "So Gone," to one of the fighters. See, that's what I like about Monica. Monica is a consummate professional. She saw the fight, she stopped the music, she addressed it, she called in security, she offered the chicks a drink, and then she kicked them out, and while they were being escorted to the door, she sung "So Gone." See, that is how you do it. And she never ever missed a beat. Listen, let me know what you think about your girl Monica in the comments. And while you're down there making a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And I gotta tell you, when you guys hit that like button, we get like 60,000 views. But when you don't, we get like 2 views. And that's because the algorithm is not really feeling me, but it's really feeling you. Now check it out. One of Young Thug's co-defendants in a YSL RICO case claims that Donald Trump and Joe Biden and U.S. Senator Jon Ossoff are helping him to beat his case. According to reports, during his hearing last week, Jaden Myrick, aka Set Trip, aka J-Man, told the judge that he doesn't want a lawyer and he wants to represent himself because he's been studying law and Donald Trump, Ossoff, and Biden have been behind the scenes helping him to get free. When Myrick stood before the judge, this dude said, quote, "I'm not the regular inmate. I be with Joe Biden and Donald Trump and they be talking to me. Donald Trump is gonna get me out," end quote. Now, after Myrick said that with a straight face, the judge just looked at him and was like, "Sir, what medications are you taking?" And when the judge found out that Myrick has not been taking his antipsychotic meds, he expressed serious concerns about his present competency and immediately ordered that Myrick have a mental evaluation done within 48 hours by the Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities to determine his competency to stand trial. Now, it's interesting to note that Myrick is already serving a life sentence for murder, and he's also one of the men that was accused of stabbing YFN Lucci in Fulton County Jail in February of 2022. Now, if this dude wasn't already serving a life sentence that he's probably not going to get out from, I would swear that he was trying to play the crazy card. But because of his predicament, I gotta assume that this dude is actually bonkers. Which begs the question, why are so many of our young black dudes going bonkers? Now, you might disagree with me, but I think that it's because of the drugs. I mean, I have a cousin, and he was normal on Thursday, and then he smoked some lace weed. By Friday, he was Looney Tunes. Look, people, you gotta be very careful about what you put into your system, and you gotta understand that people are putting all types of stuff into these drugs. So, with that being said, you also gotta understand that God said that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, which means that our brains were made by God, and all of those neurons and synapses that are shooting off up there were not created to handle man-made toxins like fentanyl. And you know what? While we're on the subject of fentanyl, let's discuss Michael K. Williams. On September 5th, 2021, Irving Green Eyes Cartagena sold fentanyl-laced heroin to Williams, who is best known for his work on HBO's The Wire and Boardwalk Empire, in a hand-to-hand transaction. 1 day later, Williams was found dead in his Brooklyn home. He was 54 years young. Shortly thereafter, 4 men including Cartagena were arrested in connection to Williams' death, and all 4 men were charged with conspiracy to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute a fentanyl analog, fentanyl, and heroin, and those charges carry a prison sentence of up to 40 years. Okay, so now that we got the history out of the way, let's talk about what's happening today. The other day, as part of a plea deal, Cartagena, who's 39 years old, pled guilty to 1 count of conspiring to distribute and possess with the intent to distribute heroin, fentanyl, and fentanyl analog. Under the plea deal, Cartagena openly admitted that he sold Michael K. Williams the fatal dose of laced heroin that killed him. Now, before his arrest, Cartagena was a member of a drug trafficking organization operating in Brooklyn's Williamsburg neighborhood, and prosecutors said, quote, despite knowing that Michael K. Williams died after being sold the DTO's product, Cartagena and his co-conspirators continued to sell fentanyl-laced heroin in broad daylight amidst residential apartment buildings in Brooklyn and Manhattan, end quote. Listen, let me tell you something. The fact that these dudes knew that the drugs that they sold Michael killed him, and then they took the same batch and sold it in another area, just shows you what kind of dudes these are. They don't care nothing about you, and they don't mind if you drop dead as long as they could get a couple of extra bucks in their own pockets. And I mean, that's not to take away from the responsibility that the fiend has too, but I'm just saying, these dudes are ruthless. And I mean, I'm probably more salty than I usually would be telling this story, because I really liked Michael K. Williams. I mean, he was a talented brother, and I can only imagine what more he would have done. Listen, let me talk directly to all the drug dealers out there. Let me tell you something. The same skill set that you use to sell these drugs, the same organizational skills, the same entrepreneurial ship that you use to sell the drugs is the same skills that CEOs of Fortune 500 companies use to make millions. The only difference between you and them is the product. So I'm telling you right now, change your product. It's all about supply and demand. So as long as you find something that the people want, you're gonna make your dough. I mean, go out there and buy an old Mr. Softy truck, refurbish it and paint it, and then drive it around the neighborhood and sell lace front wigs and weave hair out of it. I mean, if you stock that bad boy with some Hawaiian silky and some yaki and some edge control so that these chicks' baby hairs is laying just right, and you name it Uber hair, you'll be rich in 6 months. And listen, I want my 10% from the corner boy who does it. Cause I'm telling you right now, you take that hair truck and you park it in front of a black university, by next year, you're gonna be on the cover of Forbes. Now check it out. In a recent interview with GQ magazine, Donald Glover said that he struggled with imposter syndrome while working for the hit show 30 Rock. According to Psychology Today, imposter syndrome is a person's inability to believe that his or her success has been legitimately achieved. Now, Donald said that he felt like an imposter because after he landed a job working on NBC's comedy hit show 30 Rock, Tina Fey, the show's star and creator who's best known for her parts on SNL, told him that he was a diversity hire. When talking about Tina and the show, Donald said, quote, "There's no animosity between us or anything like that, but Tina said it herself. It was a diversity thing," end quote. Donald also went on to share that once he was on the set for the show, he often felt out of place, and he said, quote, "It definitely didn't feel like I was supposed to be there. I used to have stress dreams every night where I was doing cartwheels on top of a New York skyscraper with other writers watching me," end quote. Look, Donald Glover has proven time and time again over time that he is a very talented artist. And as far as I'm concerned, everybody over there at 30 Rock should have been thanking their lucky stars that they hired that black brother. But you know what cracks me up? I don't understand why some white people feel the need to tell black people, you're a diversity hire. Because you know what they never do? They never roll up to the white people and say, you're a white privilege hire. And you know what? A whole bunch of them are white privilege hires. Cause I'm telling you, I done worked at a lot of places and I done seen a whole lot of white people doing stuff that they're not qualified to do. And I know darn well, if it wasn't for the color of their skin, they would not have that job. But listen, there's more. When Donald Glover was telling a story, he said that even though he was hired as a diversity hire, he got hired over Kenya Barris. And Kenya Barris went on to create hit shows like Blackish and Grownish, which just goes to show you that God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes not getting that job you want is the best thing that can happen to you. Because when one door closes, another one opens up. Listen, let me know what you think about your boy Donald Glover and your girl Tina Fey. And let me know, have you ever experienced imposter syndrome? Now check it out. The other day, conservative mouthpiece Candace Owens got her panties all up in a bunch because interior designer David Netto, who Candace's husband George wanted to hire to spruce up their decor, refused to work with the couple. After Candace's husband reached out to Netto via email inquiring about his services, Netto responded to her husband's inquiry with an email that said, quote, "Dear George, thank you for your inquiry. I'd rather get beat in the A with a wooden plank than ever go near either of you. Kind regards, David." End quote. See, I don't even know who this dude is, but I like him already. Anyways, after Candace and her husband got rejected by Netto, she jumped online and said, quote, "If a white conservative male had written that email to an outspoken black liberal, he would have lost everything. They would have said it was like Jim Crow." End quote. Oh my goodness, you know what I gotta say about that? No, the interior designer not wanting to decorate your house is nothing like Jim Crow. And how dare you compare a dude like not wanting to show you paint swatches to racial segregation? See, this right here is exactly why I can't with some of these people. Listen, let me know what you think about your girl Candace Owens trying to compare a white interior designer not wanting to provide his services for her white husband to racial segregation. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.